Hello. Wow. So today I wanted to talk about being deaf, being hard of hearing, and holding back your dreams. Just had a conversation with a person, and that person said to me, well, if I wasn't deaf, I would do this. I used to think that way. I was born hearing, grew up hard of hearing, and I became deaf at the age of 19. Life took a turn, that's for sure. So at the age of 19, that was a dark time in my life, a really dark time. One morning, I got up, I woke up, and I realized I had two choices. I could continue the darkness, continue to struggle, continue to grieve, or choice number two, I could choose to embrace being deaf and enjoy that journey from that point forward. Obviously, I chose number two. That decision, that moment of changing my thought, changing my paradigm, changed everything for me. Now, growing up, I grew up hard of hearing. I really didn't have deaf and hard of hearing role models growing up. Even though my mom was deaf, my sister was deaf. But role models growing up, I had none. So my vision of the future was all hearing people. And I constantly compared myself to hearing people because that's all I knew, people who were hearing, who could hear. I grew up hiding my hearing aid. I grew up being embarrassed and ashamed of being hard of hearing. I hid my hearing aid, or I did not use it, did not wear the hearing aid. So you have to remember that when your only comparison is people who can hear, then that's the only thing you can compare yourself to, hearing people. So my self-esteem was low growing up. I didn't feel good about myself because I was hard of hearing. I could not participate in group discussions. I didn't go out at night because darkness meant I couldn't have a conversation in the dark. I needed the light to liberate. So I avoided going out with people. I stayed home and I read books. That was my peace time. So why I'm sharing this tonight is because I've been working with deaf and hard of hearing people in my coaching program. And I'm finding that, I know that we have barriers. I know the world is not always nice to deaf and hard of hearing people. It's harder. We do things 10 times more to prove ourselves in the hearing world, because the hearing world doesn't always give us opportunities to show ourselves and shine. So now about dreams. If you are deaf and you are hard of hearing, I want to encourage you to really look within yourself. What are your gifts? What are your abilities? What talents do you have that make you stand out? Those are clues to passion. Passion. When you sit and you're quiet and you look in and really listen to your soul, you find answers. You find that discovery that you were born to do something. You have a purpose here on earth. Maybe it takes a little bit of time to figure out the purpose and figure out what you're supposed to do. But believe me, you were born to stand out. You were not born to fit in, to be like everybody else. Now, you were born to stand out. Being deaf, being hard of hearing, that is your key to standing out. The world needs you. They need deaf people. We need hard of hearing people. We are part of that diversity, that beautiful differences out there. We were not meant to be the same. The world would be really boring if we were all the same, right? So my encouragement to you is, if you have a dream within you, listen to that dream. Yes, it may be challenging to make things happen, but when you line up with your heart and your soul and your dreams, that part of healing, it's just a part of it. There are many people out there who are deaf, hard of hearing, who are living their dreams. And now it's time for yours. Do you want some help with that? Reach out. Connect with me. I'm always happy to help, because I really believe there's a place for each of us in this world. And we're supposed to stand up.